Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Wednesday Night Live here on Movies TV Mad. I am awaiting to see if we're getting a Kenobi trailer at the Disney Investors thingy-jig. I've got an impression that maybe we won't see much there, but we'll wait and see. And if we do, I'll check it out on my phone, and then I'll react to it. So a very exciting day if you're a fan of Star Wars. This Obi-Wan Kenobi show is the missing piece. There'll be nothing to stop us this time. That line of dialogue is something we've been waiting to see. In Kenobi, I also expect some flashbacks to the Clone Wars with Anakin and Obi-Wan, which would be amazing. So hopefully this is the show we hope it is, because nothing's certain in these creatively bankrupt times, is it? Hang on, I can't see your... Ronnie Dodge, did you see Dylan's comments about him being fan cast Nightwing? He's doing an Andrew Garfield on us. Very, very interesting denials, Ronnie. And then obviously until something's confirmed, he's not Nightwing. He's not Dick Grayson until we know. We're going to have to wait and see. Channel Grey, what do you think will be the title of Batman 2? Batman Arkham. Sounds good to me. I think Blu-ray Angels Batman Cold Case, in reference to Mr. Freeze, is a bit too much on the nose, don't you think? So I've got my DC hat on, but I've also got my Star Wars hat on. Well, I'm going to put my Superman cap on. It's actually really cold. Ronnie Dodge saw the Batman the third time today. Wow, you lucky sod. I'm still on two viewings. Channel Grey, I'd prefer Heart of Ice. It's okay. 2 on the nose though, isn't it? I think we're definitely not going to know about any titles or anything for quite a while yet. Or even a green light for the Batman sequel yet. Until Warner Discovery is officially the new company and Zaslav has looked at all the projects, nothing's getting green lit. Changes are coming. It's a very interesting year, what's going on in the movies, but what's going on behind the scenes at the studio. The Batman is a hit. People like it. There will be a sequel, but it won't be greenlit yet. Which is not fair, really, considering Wonder Woman 3 was greenlit as soon as Wonder Woman 84 was released. And look at the state of that film. So, Matt Reeves certainly deserves a green light. Probably behind the scenes, he's been given a green light. Ronnie Dodge, yeah, I guess Dylan can't say anything until Warner Brothers and DC announce him. Yeah, I don't... You see, the problem is, he still may be playing the character, or the guy may be telling the truth. The thing is also, he could be in the Flash movie, and that may be probably why they're holding back the announcement if he is actually playing him. Unfortunately, when someone comes up with such a blatant denial, you just got to believe him. And because we don't see him talking and it's just written down, we don't know if it's a sarcastic denial. It's a difficult one. John, did you ever watch the Birds of Prey TV series? No, John, but I bet it's better than what we got in the movies. I bet they weren't whining about men taking credit for their hard work. Channel Grey, I saw that there is a rumor of 9 Batman movies. How would that work? I was thinking Pattinson solo as Batman, the first 3, the next trilogy, but family and all of the roads gallery, then Batman Beyond. They're not gonna look. No one's greenlit 9 movies, but this is Matt Reeves is here for the foreseeable future. He's going to map something out. So there could be 9 movies. I think that will be good. I spoke about 3 trilogies the other day, and there's no reason why not. But with every movie comes a risk of failure. So nothing is written in stone. But I expect Matt to do a lot because Matt started from the beginning. And unlike Batman Begins and all of that, there's a plan. There's a plan to evolve the character. It's kind of scattered around in the first movie, like the hints and everything. It is an exciting time to be a Batman fan, and we couldn't have a better person, doing this. But no one is going to come out and greenlight 9 movies at this point. Because so many things can go wrong. Star Trek 2009, everyone loved it. And then we had Into Darkness, which a lot of Star Trek fans hated. And then we saw what happened. Channel Grey. How will Justice League continue with Affleck reportedly out and the Batverse starting up? Well, quite easily. We're getting Flashpoint. The franchise is getting rebooted if it's true about Affleck. But they've already got Michael Keaton there. So Flashpoint reboots the whole franchise. So that's how Justice League will continue. But you're talking about the Snyderverse, aren't you, Channel? Well, basically, Ben Affleck would be very interested in working with Zack Snyder again to finish that arc off. So, Channel Grey, DCU in general. Well, the DCEU, we've already been told that they're rebooting the franchise via Flashpoint. They're starting again. Everything will be remembered and nothing will be forgotten. Affleck just won't be there. He would have vanished. Probably Barry Allen will go on this mission searching for his missing version of Batman in the future movies. And I think that's the direction we're going in, and it could be quite very interesting. So it's as simple as that, really. Channel Grey. So Keaton is essentially the new Batman. Seems kind of weird fit, even though I love Keaton. Well, it's actually a good fit because he's a famous, popular Batman. I mean, I would have had him there, but I would have had someone there to kind of maybe younger. But, Keaton being there is huge. Having Keaton mixing with these other characters, having Keaton going around recruiting a new Justice League could be very, very exciting. Maybe even the head of the new Justice League. So it's actually kind of exciting. I think it's a very good idea. If you're going to lose Ben Affleck, who better to replace him with? Because unfortunately, you're not going to get Christian Bale, which would be very exciting. It's great to have him involved. I'm very excited, and I don't see the negative. In terms of him being 70 years old, if you've seen any recent photos of him, the man looks fucking fit. He looks ripped, mate. Channel Grey, I think Pattinson is the best Batman portrayal with Affleck being second because he just looks so good in the role. Didn't like how Snyder had him murdering people, but loved Suit, Cave and World. You know what? I don't have a best Batman, I'm going to be honest. I think it's very difficult for me to stand there now after seeing the movie a couple of times and saying, and that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But I can't just be reactive and say, oh, Pattinson's the best now. It's a difficult situation. because even the 66 Batman is awesome. Keaton's awesome. Bale's awesome. The guy from the Gotham series is awesome. It's very difficult just to pick out the new guy and say he's the best. It's like people who say Spider-Man No Way Home is the best Spider-Man film ever. I don't think that it is, just because it's the latest one. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I just feel a bit dirty and unfaithful to start saying the latest version is the best version. Although, when I talk about My Man Superman, I must admit, Superman and Lois is an amazing Superman adaptation. I am very impressed with Tyler Hoechlin since this show started. He's an amazing Superman. And if you're looking for someone to replace Henry Cavill with the multiverse and Flashpoint, Tyler Hoechlin could be the DCEU's new Superman. Watch this space. Chanel Gray, personally, I think Ledger is the best villain. I don't understand how some are saying Dano is better. It just didn't feel as iconic or nearly as good of a portrayal. Well, again, that's your view, Channel, and you're here to air your views, and you're entitled to those views. Again, I can't compare Ledger versus Dano. As you say, Ledger's performance, he's showing his face, he's performing. Paul Dano's hiding for most of the movie, but when we see him, he's sensational. I would say that both are equally as iconic, but the difference is that, in a way, Dano's playing an ugly character with an ugly inside, totally mentally broken down. He's totally not the full ticket, where the Joker we see is confident. As I say, Ledger's there, out and proud. It's different. It's uncomparable as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I would put Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker over Ledger's, personally. But Ledger is sensational. I wouldn't even put The Dark Knight as my best Batman film. Batman Begins, for me, is up there. Batman Begins, for me, is the perfect Batman movie in a lot of ways. It does a lot of interesting things. It's got balance. It's got variety. It's a fantastic Bruce Wayne story. It isn't really a Batman story. It's a Bruce Wayne story. That's why I like it. And it's interesting what Matt does. We get Batman Begins is a Bruce Wayne story, but the Batman is a Batman story, which is great. I love the Batman, and I don't want any misunderstandings there. Shannon Gray, I remember you saying in your first review that Dano surpassed Ledger, but I could be wrong. Will Ra's al Ghul be in the new Batverse, or would that be as grounded for Reeves? Well, listen, when you're doing a review, you've just, I think when I did my review, I was probably hyped up or something. It's very difficult. I mean, to be honest with you, Channel, ultimately, I don't think that Ledger is the be-all and end-all. So I'll stand by it. If that's what I said, right, I'll stand by it. But at the end of the day, I don't think Ledger in The Dark Knight is the best thing ever anyway. So I just think what Paul Dano did was more challenging than what Heath Ledger did. He had to hide his face, use his voice, and play a very broken down man. In fact, I would put him up there with what Phoenix did in the Joker movie. He did something a lot more complicated than Ledger did. Ledger was amazing, no question. But I think what Dano did was harder for an actor, because Dano doesn't get the glory of showing his face for 3 hours, but he's there behind the scenes. It's a bit more of a difficult task. And again, I really like what Paul Dano did. But I do like Heath Ledger, but I'm not here to put The Dark Knight and say The Dark Knight shit don't stink. I think Batman Begins is superior to The Dark Knight in every way. I think The Dark Knight is a brilliant film, but well overrated. I think Heath Ledger is a great Joker, but well overrated as well. And I think it is the hip answer, isn't it? The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight. I'm actually getting quite frustrated with this Dark Knight thing. The Legend CJ, yeah, I agree with you. After seeing a movie, you're all hyped up. For me, after I saw No Way Home, I thought it was the best Spider-Man movie. But as the hype died down, I realized Spider-Man 2 is better. look, for me, what Raimi did was sensational. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 are jointly my favorite Spider-Man movies. But No Way Home, considering it's full of cameos and huge cameos, actually, I feel is the origin story for Tom Holland's Spider-Man going forward. And in fact, it serviced Tom Holland a lot better than it did Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And it's a very, very good film. I was surprised how good it was. But I'm not putting that over Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. I still think they're the best two Spider-Man movies because they have heart. They have an arc from the very beginning. What Feige did with Homecoming and Far From Home, he made two very slow, small, a bit like Smallville, if you like, very slow paced, very charming, but nothing much really happened. But Tom Holland is certainly, from the source material, a lot more accurate a depiction. There's no question about that. Channel Grey, what's your thought on the Batman being nominated for a plethora of Oscars, costumes, production design, actors, supporting actress, cinematography, special effects, even Best Picture? Well, I certainly would like to see Robert Pattinson be nominated for Best Actor. I want Paul Dano to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I think costumes were great. I think, listen, the movie is great. And it's a rarity for a kind of a comic book movie to be made so well. They put a lot of work into it. They didn't cheat with cameos and, with like cheap stunts. The film does deserve a lot of credit. I hope that Matt does get these nominations. Certainly when we look at the Joker, DC have got a great record at making artistic movies. You look at Batman versus Superman. It's a very artistic CBN. You look at the Joker, as I've already said. You look at the Dark Knight trilogy. DC and WB make art, and Disney and the MCU make money. And I think that's a great analogy for me. Dr. Zayazak, a nice Superman t-shirt. You mean cap, right? Channel Grey, I feel like if Black Panther got nominated, this film has to be... Look, Black Panther only got nominated for political reasons, and we all know that. Black Panther had really good two acts. It's a good film, but it's nothing special. It made $1 billion. It's one of the few kind of superheroes of color out there, which is, so it was representing people of color, which is great, but you can't be giving it awards because of that. But that's the kind of environment that we live in now. I mean, I actually think the lad who played Black Panther actually delivered a better performance in Civil War. John, I got Zack Snyder's Justice League today, and I have watched part 1 so far. What do you think, John? John is a Snyder Cut virgin up till now. Let me know what you think, John. I'd love to know what you think about it. I'd love to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League because that is truly one of my favourite CBMs. What an achievement. I mean, I can criticize the fact that they tried to do a rebirth story in a Justice League movie that I don't like, and there's not enough Superman in it, but ultimately, it's a fucking good movie. And I mean, I've never... we talk about the most comic book accurate Batman. Well, that fucking Darkseid isn't far away from the comics, is he? So people saying that Snyder doesn't like the comics, is not comic book accurate, is talking shit. I hope my nieces and nephews are not watching when I swear. Zack Snyder's Justice League is pure art. I mean, how those fucking people at that fucking studio decided to shelve that film, it's a disgrace. And Toby Emmerich thinks he deserves to keep his job, and he's taking credit for everything apart from the Adventures of Superman, the New Adventures of Superman, and Superman the movie. It's the Legend CJ. Darkseid should have been more powerful, in my opinion, but it was just a setup. So I understand. Yeah, He doesn't have the opportunity to use his power, but he will. He will. Look at how overpowered Superman is in that film. So it would have happened. The legend CJ, Darkseid is more powerful than Thanos. They should have showed that more. Well, to be fair to them, he's not. They didn't write him in situations to use his powers. He was just there in the background, a bit like Thanos was. If you remember, Thanos was in the background in the first Avengers, and you didn't really see him using his powers, did you? So it's the same thing. This Inferno, I think Robin could be introduced in Penguin series with Two-Face. This would be a great opportunity to set up their relationship for sequel. We need a comic book accurate Robin. Robin has never been done justice, and that's a shame because he's a very interesting character, both Jason Todd and Dick Grayson. And I know Jason Todd isn't very popular, and that's why they killed him originally. Dr. Zayazaka, the Arkham show should adapt from the book Arkham, a serious house on serious earths. It's an unsettling book that fits perfectly with Matt Reeves' vision. Do you know what, Dr. Zayazaka? With the way Matt's talking about it, they could be adapting that book. John, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a totally different movie from the 2017 one. Yeah, they took the man's movie, they tore it to pieces, John. And it was embarrassing. I was devastated watching Justice League in the cinema. I couldn't believe what they'd done. And they lied that Snyder and Whedon were friends and he was just going to finish the movie off. And this is all Toby Emmerich. And now we've got Deadline telling us that David Zaslav should just leave well enough alone. If he ain't broke, don't fix it. It is broke, and he will fix it. It's a sensational film. Honestly, you just don't get films like that in this kind of genre. And of course, this is why we fought for this film. I mean, I started my channel in the middle of this fight. And it was an amazing journey. And we got there. We fought for 2 or 3 years, and so many things happened. I mean, I could write a book about the journey to getting the Snyder Cut for the fans. It was an amazing journey. I'm glad I was involved in it. And I reported on it. It was fun. I met a lot of people, made a lot of friends through it. Dr. Zayazaka, if the Arkham show can get inside the mind of its inmates, it'll be awesome. I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He did describe it as a haunted house story. John, I will let you know what I think of it once I have watched it, the full movie. Please do, John. It's a very good movie. The 2017 movie is a disgrace. And it's got Toby Emmerich's name written all over it. Right, hang on, everyone. Hang on, everyone. Have I got any headphones? Hang on a minute, because the Obi-Wan trailer's come up. Right, I'm still here, everyone. But the Obi-Wan trailer's come up and I want to listen to it. These are very battered old earphones. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, mate. This is awesome. They're actually playing. They're playing Duel of Fates. They're playing Duel of Fates. This is amazing. Duel of Fates, yeah. Wow, wow, wow. That's an amazing trailer. Go and check out that trailer. Wow. The Legend, it looks really, really good. It's so good, man. That was amazing. I'm on the telly. Wow. That was off the scale. Amazing. I'm going to put it on my TV later on when I finish off here. A very good trailer. The fight is finished, Obi-Wan says. You get the Duel of Fates. Listen, it looks really, really good. I've been waiting for this a long time. For me, this is the missing piece of Star Wars. When Darth Vader in A New Hope goes, there'll be no one to stop us this time. This is the battle they've been talking about. No Darth Vader in this trailer, though. Very interesting. We saw young Luke Skywalker. There's still hope. Very interesting. They could make a continuation of this story. Ewan could come back again. I know this is a one-season thing, they reckon. But really, we want to see more of this. I can't wait. It's Ronnie Dodge. I thought I heard Palpatine. Yes, I thought I did as well. Ronnie Dodge. Can't wait to see Hayden back as Darth Vader. Yeah, no Hayden. They're not going to show us, are they? Maybe when they do another trailer. But wow, that was amazing. That was so cool. I really, really loved that. I thought that would happen. We may get a few more trailers on Star Wars, by the way. So I'll keep an eye on it. We may get an Ashoka trailer as well. But that was so cool. I really like that. And the Duel of Fates playing in the background. Wow. So basically, before that show starts, this is what you do. You rewatch the prequels. I love the prequels. That's going to be amazing, everyone. Star Wars. This is the Star Wars I like. I still think that they should have moved past the Skywalker saga by now and created new worlds, new characters, but they haven't done it. I think this has been their big mistake. But certainly, I'm looking forward to this. And Ewan and Hayden certainly deserve to be back again. It's just amazing, really, considering the excitement out there. The hate the prequels got back in the 90s was puzzling. Ronnie Dodge, I'm watching you and Disney Investor Day at the same time. Good, Ronnie. Keep me informed. Let me know if there's any more trailers. Is there any more gossip apart from the Obi-Wan trailer? Ronnie Dodge, Gotham Knights coming in October. Yeah, from the creative team who gave you Batwoman, that's about to get axed and replaced with Gotham Knights. No, thank you. No, thank you. The only CW show I'm interested in, really, from Arrowverse is Superman and Lois. That's an amazing show. It's a great interpretation of Superman. It's one of the best I've seen. And I think Tyler Hoechlin's going to be the DCEU's next Superman. And I'll talk about that in a video tomorrow. I think they're setting him up. That's why there's so much budget in that show. That's why it doesn't feel like a CW show. I think they're setting up the next DCEU Superman universe, and I'm going to discuss it, and it's perfect. Oh, Ronnie Dodge, I mean the game. Right, okay, well, I might check the game out. But Gotham Knights is definitely replacing Batwoman for sure. Ben Pottimeyer. Hey, Mick, just watched new Superman and Lois. So good. Love the family dynamic. Well, listen, I just said, Ben, it's an amazing interpretation, and I think they're setting Tyler up and his supporting cast members to be the new Superman universe in the DCEU. I think that's the plan. I think that Tyler will be in the Flash movie, and that's what they're doing. And even though I love Henry, I think this would be a very good way to go. Because the problem with Henry's Superman, they fucked him over. It's not Henry's fault. Henry's a good Superman, but they fucked him over. They fucked him over in Justice League, and really, they did fuck Superman in BVS. I love BVS, but they fucked him over. Ronnie Dodge, they're talking about the theme parks at the moment. Boring, yeah. That's why I don't watch it, mate. I ain't got the patience. Dr. Zaya Zaka, how much of the script of the sequels do you think Zack will change once the Snyderverse is restored? Well, there's elements he's going to have to chase. Now, Dr. Zashi Saka, it all depends if it's going to link in to the DCEU. If it's separate, he won't have to change much. But I know when he did the whole wall chart at the AT&T Museum, he said certain things would have to change. So I think the changes will be minimal, but there will be changes there. John, I love Star Wars Episode 3. John, I remember seeing that film multiple times. Back in the days when I lived near the fucking cinema and I could go whenever I want. Not like now, because I don't drive. Oh my God, and then we've got all these COVID fucking restrictions, right? But I remember sitting really high up in this movie theatre. It was like a Palladium. And at the start, when the spaceships are coming, and remember when Anakin goes, this is when the fun begins, because you're so high up, it feels like you're fucking in space. And it wasn't 3D, it wasn't IMAX, but it looked so real, and it was so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it was sensational. That film is amazing. That proves that Lucas knew exactly what he was doing. And these people who hate the prequels don't know shit. They drove George Lucas out. They drove him to sell to Disney, and now they're complaining about Disney Star Wars. Maybe you should have thought about that before you were moaning that there weren't a character like Han Solo in the prequels. Jar Jar Binks rocks. He was there for the kids, you Muppets. He was there for the kids. The kids liked him. But you all had to hate on poor Jar Jar and attack the poor guy who played him. The Legend CJ, I was only a kid when episode 3 came out, and sucks I only experienced the Disney trilogy in cinemas. Yeah, I feel sorry for you, mate, because the Disney trilogy is really underwhelming. I won't say shit, but underwhelming. I think The Force Awakens was a solid start, but George had 7 and 8 and 9. They promised to do it. They didn't want to do it. They shouldn't have done their own 7, 8, and 9. They should have moved on from the Skywalker saga and did something of their own. Disney fucked up, and it proves the only reason the MCU works is because of Feige, and nothing to do with Disney being good planners or clever or better than WB. They're just as bad as WB. John, and that lightsaber fight at the end was great. Shall I tell you what's great about it, John? And only a great director could have pulled this off. And George is a great director, no matter what people say. It's not just how good it looks. It's the emotion in that fight. And it's comparable to the car chase in The Batman. You can see how determined he's to get the Penguin. And it's the determination and emotion that makes that chase so much better. And it's the same with that lightsaber fight in Revenge of the Sith. It's emotional. These were brothers. These were friends. And, you know, Anakin's allowed himself to be manipulated. And it's the most heartbreaking thing. When Padme comes out and she says, and I want to cry, Anakin, you're breaking my heart. It's so personal. It's personal to the audience. And most films today are not personal to the audience. That was personal, which means George Lucas got the prequels right. From the first step with Liam Neeson to Attack of the Clones, the prequels are fucking amazing. And because a bunch of idiots didn't understand what the man was doing and didn't respect the man's vision, they drove him out. He sold to Disney. He got his revenge. He got his revenge on them, didn't he? And, you know, Star Wars is fucked now. All because of a bunch of angry people. This is what happens. And imagine how toxic they were. They were able to get to that man and upset him and break his heart before the internet. And get that message across that they didn't like what he was doing. You know, moaning that he was selling stuff and making lots of money out of it. Well, it's his IP. He had nothing when he started Star Wars. He did it. He created the modern day blockbuster, and then you're going to attack him? He gave us a gift. Disgusting, disgusting. George Lucas, wonderful man, fucking genius. I love watching Empire of Dreams. The man's amazing. He's a revolutionary. And he got fanged by being attacked by people. That's what happens. They even hate Return of the Jedi. They hate the Ewoks. I love the Ewoks. Do you understand what the Ewoks are? The Ewoks are primitive creatures who are able to help defeat a major force. This is what happened in Vietnam. The Americans thought they could beat little old Vietnam, but it was the determination to protect what was theirs and their families. And that's what the Ewoks were supposed to be. And again, these pie eaters didn't get it. Ronnie Dodge, George is a legend. George is a legend. Very sad what they did. It's because of them that Star Wars is in Disney hands. It's like the Star Trek fans who are angry about Star Trek, but you were the ones who used to moan about like the Next Generation movies and things like that. The Legend CJ, even Lucas said these movies are for kids, and 20 years down the line, the payoff will happen. And all the kids like myself love those movies. But you know what, The Legend CJ? I mean, they're not for children. I mean, yes, I understand. George always said it was a kid's story. But the truth is that Star Wars is for everyone, just like animated and stuff and cartoons are. It can be for whoever wants it to be. Ultimately, I'm an adult and I watch Ben fucking 10. So, you know, nothing is exclusive to an audience, but he made it for children. But the point is, those children became adults and loved it. So, obviously, George can say they're for kids, but it doesn't stop adults from watching them, does it? And I don't really think the prequels are actually babyish if you watch them. They're not childish, really. There's actually some brutality in those films. I mean, we see fucking Darth Maul get chopped in two. That's hardly child-friendly, is it? But the prequels are amazing to me. And Revenge of the Sith, I mean, Yoda versus versus Palpatine. Fucking awesome. John Warwick Davis was the Ewok in Star Wars. Yeah, because the other guy was ill. It's because I watched Empire of Dreams. It's not because I know more than you. Warwick Davis is a very impressive man. Very impressive. Got a lot of time for Warwick. Very down-to-earth man as well. I wonder if 3PO and R2D2 get a cameo. Ronnie Dodge, I mean, we saw Anakin being burned alive. Exactly. Hardly child-friendly, is it? I mean, that was pretty brutal, wasn't it? But it's a brutal story. But the story is for children in the sense that it shows you how one person can manipulate a whole civilization through one person. It's really what Donald Trump did, that kind of manipulation. Or you look at Brexit, how they manipulated people to vote for Brexit, and now we live in a world of fucking darkness. Look at what's going on in Ukraine. 1 minute we're fighting a pandemic, then we're worrying that we're going to be facing World War III. The world is very dark right now. And the stuff that Lucas did, especially in the prequels, was a big lesson that nobody listened to. I'm telling you, George Lucas is a pioneer. John, how can people hate Return of the Jedi? Well, because people think that they're the kings and they can decide what someone does with a story. It was his vision. He created it. That's what he wanted. The Ewoks to these people are like Jar Jar Binks. There's something wrong with these people. I never finished that trilogy and thought, this is shit. I've seen a lot of underwhelming stuff, but that wasn't underwhelming to me because George wanted to tell a story that had a happy ending. And that's okay because Star Wars is a fairy tale, ultimately, with a lot of life lessons, but, you know, it don't bash you over the head with it. It's there. You need to look for it. And I think as you grow older, you see more and more of what happens. For example, Leia, Han, and Luke. You get friendships like that, where there's two blokes and a woman, and both the blokes fancy the woman. Darth Vader is a great example. When you're growing up, your dad is your hero, but as your dad gets older, sometimes you see him for what he really is, that he's just a weak person. And he's not perfect, and he's not a superhero. And that's what Darth Vader is. So I think there's some great life lessons in Star Wars. Genius. I mean, Star Wars The New Hope was the second film I saw, I think. Was it? I can't remember if I saw, I think Superman the movie, then A New Hope. Even though A New Hope came before that, I watched obviously years later. Because we never went to the cinema as like that young, when I was like 8 years old or something. Just didn't happen. E.B. Budd, any Stan Lee autographs? Not on me, no. The Legend CJ, Leia in that. Where are we? Yeah. Leia in the slave outfit. She never did it for me, you know. Maybe I was still too young to appreciate. But no, I mean, Carrie, I didn't really see Carrie that way. I mean, you think about it, that was a bit out of order putting her in that outfit, though, wasn't it? John, the only thing that I did not like about Return of the Jedi is that they killed off Boba Fett. Oh, yeah. But then he came back to life. He's alive again. I'm a bit confused. Is The Mandalorian and Boba Fett set before or after Return of the Jedi? I'm confused. I thought it was set after Return of the Jedi. Any news, Ronnie? The Legend CJ, it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Right. So Boba Fett didn't die then. All's good. I think it's a very good trailer, actually. They call it a teaser trailer, but I think it had a lot in there, actually. but I want to whack it out loud after this live. I'm going to whack it up loud on my telly so I can watch it properly. Hishan Kishi, why is Gotham PD cancelled? It's evolved into an Arkham series, my friend, which is a better idea. Gotham PD would have been too political, too much commentary on defunding the police, and the new ownership of Warner Brothers decided it wasn't the way they wanted to go. I'm happy with that decision. The Legend CJ, he should have kept him dead the way they treated him. Yeah, terrible, really, isn't it? Well, this is what we're talking about, isn't it? Jeff Hill, hi. Jeff Hill, how are you? Very well, Jeff, how are you? I haven't spoken to you for not for an hour, for ages, my old mucker. I'm back on the lives. I bought the cheapest, shittiest laptop. The camera isn't great, but it means I can do live. So you have to take me how you see me. As I say, Disney listen, Obi-Wan looks good, but let's see what happens. We've seen great trailers before, haven't we? I mean, the Last Jedi trailers looked really good, didn't they? Jeff Hill, what villain do you think the Batman team will use? Multiple villains. Multiple, Jeff. I think it's an Arkham movie, my friend. It's an Arkham movie, so there won't just be one villain. I think that solves a lot of arguments as well, doesn't it, really? If you haven't voted on my poll, please do, even though I spelt the word Emmerich wrong. Will Discovery sack Toby Emmerich? Yes, 57%. No, 43%, 23 votes. Keep on voting. Let me know what you think. Keep the comments coming, everyone. You make the show. You make the show. I don't, you do. I'm just the host with the most. But you lot come here and you make comments and then you kick the conversation off. And that's what a live's all about. Without you lot, it doesn't work. It's an opportunity to ask me questions. You've seen the videos I've put out today, maybe. Not all of you. There's lots of talking points in not just DC, Star Wars we're talking about. Very excited. I'm hyped over that trailer. And I'm actually happy I'm going to be able to watch this series on my telly without paying 20 fucking quid to go to the cinema. What happened to James Wan's Knight Rider show? Don't know what happened to that. Hishan Kishi, when was the first time you fell in love with superhero movies? Has it shaped who you've become? I fell in love with superhero movies when I fell in love with Superman via Superman the movie, the 1978 movie. So since then, I've loved that character. I don't think that's when I fell in love with superheroes. I think Smallville made me a DC fan because it taught me a lot about DC, especially the Titans magazine they used to do monthly on Smallville. I think that made me fall in love with DC superheroes because that's what my passion is, really. I'm not obsessed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I watch it, it's okay. I think Smallville really shaped me and made me think about my decisions as a person. Oh, go away, notifications. Jeff Hill, what do you think Nolan think of the Batman? I think it's pretty much near to how he sees films. I think he'll be very happy with it. He's busy doing that boring Oppenheimer, isn't he? So he's probably not taking much notice. But I think you'll like it, yes. I am not excited about that Oppenheimer at all. It's the most boring, for me, it's the most boring subject matter he could have chosen. But they're all going to be getting wet over it, I can tell already. So definitely Superman the movie, my first superhero experience. Another great DC movie. Record-breaking. A pop culture icon about a pop culture icon. That's what Superman the movie is. The Legend CJ, what's your opinion on Tarantino movies? Tarantino is a fucking genius. And thinking of Tarantino, I've actually met Tarantino before, actually, and I've had a conversation with him. And it's actually nuts, right? Because I was at this convention thing, and he was there, and I asked him one question, and the geezer would not shut up. Honestly, he's a fascinating man, and we did start talking about Superman. And this is why I get to my next point. Now, Matt Reeves had Batman as Batman for the whole film. Imagine if he does a Superman film where Superman is mainly Superman and not Clark Kent. Now, this takes me back to what Quentin Tarantino said to me when we had a discussion. He said to me that Clark's a disguise because Kal-El feels he has to disguise himself as a human being or he won't be accepted. So Tarantino had the concept for a Superman story that he's mostly Superman. When he's Superman, he's his true self. So it'd be interesting if Matt Reeves ever did do a Superman film and he made him Superman all the time. That'd be amazing to me. But Tarantino is a fucking legend. I'd love to see his Star Trek film. He's nuts, but he's a legend. And he's one of the few directors who really loves film and he really cares about the medium. And when he talks about it, you can tell he cares about it. But once you get him talking, he don't stop. So make sure you've got no other plans. And Tarantino has opinions about Superman. I'd love a Superman film by Tarantino. Tarantino seems to have an opinion on everything. That's why I like him. I mean, he's not a perfect human being or anything, but you've got to respect the man. He came from nowhere, really. I mean, Pulp Fiction, all the films he's done, amazing. He said, you're a director. You're handed a Superman script, a budget of $200 million, and have a team of cameramen, a cinematographer, etc. How would you tackle the script? And who's your cast? Clearly, you haven't been watching my videos, Hisham, so I'm going to explain to you. My concept for Superman is this. Superman has been on the earth for over 100 years. He's now working at the Daily Planet with Lois Lane and what's his name? I forgot his fucking name. Oh, man. Anyway, he's working with the guy who becomes Metallo. So before he becomes Metallo, Clark and Lois and John Corbin, right? John Corbin who becomes Metallo. So they're friends. And then something happens to John. He has an accident or something. Luthor takes him and makes him Metallo. Then Manchester Black and the Elite turn up, putting pressure publicly on Superman to kill Metallo. We then get a flashback to the Second World War, where Superman is in his original Action Comics get-up, and they're pressuring Superman to kill Hitler. Superman refuses to kill the Nazis and Hitler because they're human beings, and he feels he can't take sides, but he spends his time inspiring humanity, saving, saving people from the gas chambers. He's doing his bit, but he won't kill. The flashback's important because it shows you another example of Superman refusing to kill. Like he won't kill the Nazis and Hitler, he refuses to kill his friend John. And what I wanted to do in my script was to have commentary on his no-kill policy and go the opposite of what they did in Man of Steel and show why it's so important that Superman doesn't kill. So that's my story. And also in the flashbacks, he would meet Wonder Woman. And the Justice League is already active in my Superman film. It's already there. And who's my cast? That's a bit more of a difficult one, Hisham, because I'm not one really for grade A castings, famous people castings. I think what they did in Superman the movie and Man of Steel was great. Russell Crowe as Jor-El, Brando as Jor-El, Hackman as Luthor. You can go that way for sure. But I think when it comes to Superman, has to be an unknown. The Legend CJ, did you see Kill Bill in the movie? They talk about exactly what you said about Clark Kent and Superman being the real him. Yes, that's it. And that's what Tarantino believes. That's what Tarantino actually said to me. He says, Superman is the character. And look, the man's fascinating. I love the guy. I mean, as I say, he's not a perfect human being. He's very flawed. But he's a fucking genius and he loves talking films. I'd love to see his take of Superman and Star Trek. And I don't think it would be as nuts. It wouldn't be Pulp Fiction. It'll be interesting. Ronnie Dodge, Black Adam being delayed to October. Well, well, well. What did I tell you, everyone? What did I tell you? What's the reason, Ronnie? I told you. I mean, these is going to be good discussions for tomorrow. That's bad. I told you. This is all because of Discovery. Well, 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 well. So we've got no summer movies in DC now, so yeah, you see, it's Discovery. I told you all. I fucking told you all, didn't I? This is just the beginning. Because that is weird, isn't it? October, then The Flash is supposed to be in November, and Aquaman, that's just weird. The only thing I can think of is they don't want to clash with Star, but that's a big jump. That's a big jump. But it just shows you that they're going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures, and something's happening here. Something is happening here. That film is clearly going to be reshot. That film could easily fucking be remade all over again. I think The Flash could be delayed till next year. I don't know, my friend. This shows, this is Discovery, you see. And look, as I said to you, look, I've got very few subscribers. Well, I've got about 1,000, which is a lot, but most of them don't interact. I don't have, the elite status, but I keep on telling you people that I'm connected, that I was in Hollywood. These all things are true, and I know what I'm talking about. And until more people understand that I know what I'm fucking talking about, I'm just going to turn my heater off because I'm hot. But we need to discuss this. I think we need to discuss this. But this is huge. So October Black Adam, November The Flash, and December Batgirl and Aquaman. I would be very surprised, my friend. I mean, I even think that October is it's there. It doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean you'll see it there. This is Discovery. This is what's happening now. They are doing a proper investigation to what's going on. They're going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures. They're going to sack those people. This is just the beginning. And I told you all this, didn't I? So where are we? But honestly, the legend, CJ, Creation Cat, oh no, you are going to shout. What happened? What happened? What do you mean what happened? I don't understand. Hisham Kissy, you have an option to bring in a Marvel character to DC. Who would you choose, and how different will her be in DC? The Hulk is my favorite, one of my favorite Marvel characters next to Spider-Man, but it will be the Hulk, and he will be very different. He will be like a Jekyll and Hyde. He will be like a Jekyll and Hyde, and it will be a struggle. He would have this dual personality. It will break him. It will be difficult for him. It will be dark. I'd rate it R. It will be amazing. Ronnie Dodge, 21st of October, and they just announced the Penguin series for HBO Max. Well, we knew the Penguin series was coming anyway, so that's nothing new. Crazy K, the caption on the video is live chat. I'm going to shout. Deal with it. That's what I was asking about. Oh, well, you know I shout anyway. Nothing's happened, my friend. I always shout. But the breaking news, thanks to Ronnie Dodge for bringing it to me, that Black Adam has been delayed until October the 21st. I'm not surprised. I mean, we've had this conversation many times, Ronnie, and I think you said to me that they wouldn't do anything to these films coming out this year, and I've kind of wondered if they would. But I have warned it. I have warned. Crazy, okay, I get you. So, this is huge news. We need to discuss this. What do you all think about Black Adam being delayed to October the 21st? But this is Discovery. This is huge. This is huge. And I know what's coming next from Discovery. I know what's coming next. And I don't want to say it because it's divisive and it's going to upset people. But I'm not sure if we'll even see Black Adam in October. This is interesting. Why is it being delayed? Why is it being delayed? That's what we need to know. The Legend CJ, man, do you think something's wrong with the movie? Maybe reshoots. Hopefully not like the Solo movie. Well, do I think there's something wrong with the movie? For a movie, listen. How would you do a Marvel DC crossover movie? Well, I'd bring back someone like Robert Downey Jr. I'd have him cross over to the multiverse and say there's something going on and we need your help. And that's how I started off. Pac-Man, so we have a huge gap towards next DC movie. Yes, we have. So basically, guys, there's only two reasons that this has happened. Because Black Adam is an utter clusterfuck. It's an accident waiting to happen, and they're not happy with it. Because I did notice the test screening reactions, that the action was good, but they didn't compliment anything else. I don't think Black Adam tested very well, and I think that might be part of it. But I also feel that this is Discovery because it's a big delay. It's a big delay to October. It's curious, isn't it? It's curious. But I mean, they haven't announced any other delays, but I think what they do by delaying it to October, they can say, well, it's there. We don't have to worry about it for now. But we may not see that film. We may not see The Flash. We may not see Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. I don't know. The Legend CJ, after the Batman, the other movies got to step up their game. Well, clearly, I think this is something that they're looking at now. Listen, this company is having a huge merger. There's a lot of problems at this studio, and they have to sort them out. And the DC live action universe is huge. And, Emmerich and Hamada and, Anne, what you call her, they thought they were going to get away with it. And this is the reality of the situation. Hussein Kishi, as a huge Superman fan, were you disappointed when you saw Batman beating up Superman in BVS and The Dark Knight Returns? Why, in your opinion, does Batman always have the upper hand on the JL? Well, Batman's a very determined character. The reason that Batman could beat, Superman in BVS is because of the kryptonite. It's not because he's stronger, but his determination to hurt Superman was more than Superman hurting him, which is actually very realistic to the characters. Creation K, the legend CJ, you are speaking facts. He is speaking facts, but this is a much deeper situation, everyone. But you're right. You're right. They've seen this film. They've seen how it's tested. But again, they've allowed Johnson's production company to do this film. They probably haven't had much to do with it creatively, and they've made a huge error. A huge error. It clearly is a bit of a mess. But I'm still going to go and say that this is interesting because, look, they've known what this movie's been for a very, very long time. And now they're delaying it to October. This is Zaslav. This is Discovery. And the Penguin being officially announced just tells you that Zaslav and Discovery are fine with Matt, but they're not fine with the other stuff. This is very interesting now. Very interesting. Look, I really wanted to see Black Adam, and it sounded like an exciting project. But at the end of the day, these things happen. These things happen, and this was maybe always on the cards. And I want DC to be its best. I don't want DC putting substandard material out like Justice League, which is the most embarrassing thing. That's more embarrassing than Superman 4. And I went to the cinema and saw Superman 4, and I didn't feel shortchanged as a 17, 14-year-old boy or whatever. I actually quite enjoyed it because I didn't know about the problems behind the scenes. The effects looked okay to me when I was younger. You know, it's only now you can rip it to pieces, but then it looked like a pretty cool film. Superman gets beaten up by a nuclear man. He comes back. He throws him in the compactor. It's pretty cool. Hishan Kishi, DC's League of Super Pets is also delayed. Well. Something's happening here. This is Discovery. You can't tell me that film needs fucking reshoots as well. This is Discovery. I warned you all. I warned you. This is amazing. I can't believe this has happened live on air. This is brilliant. Now, I can't do the kind of conversation I would do on a pre-recorded video, but I will be discussing this. And after I come off of here later on, I will be on Twitter after a cup of tea and a cigarette, and we're going to discuss this. Pac-Man, is the delay for reshoots and change of script, or are they entirely reconfiguring DCEU? Well, Pac-Man, think about this. According to Hishen Kishi, they've just delayed DC's League of Super Pets. That's a fucking animated movie. What are they going to get? The animated characters to do reshoots? No. What you just said is spot on. This is a reconfiguration. They are smashing the door open. They're going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures. I told you all. They've gone to Snyder. They've gone to Nolan. This is the moment. This is the moment. Things are going to change. Now, don't get me wrong. This multiverse strategy was always very exciting to me. But if they haven't executed it in the right way, there's no point. But they were never going to get away with this. They were never going to get away with this. Ultimately, what killed Warner Brothers Pictures was how they treated Snyder. Justice League was Toby Emmerich's and all those people's undoing. It's as simple as that. And they were never going to get away with it. And it's a huge moment, my friends. It's a huge moment, yeah. Why'd you delay DC Super Pets? The only other reason is that maybe the studio has issues with Dwayne Johnson, because I think his company's involved in that as well. Very interesting, very interesting. That's huge news. So I don't think that's a creative thing at all. But if The Rock hasn't given any reason, then, you know, this is interesting now. And if The Flash was coming out in the summer, that would have delayed. But I don't believe they're real dates. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is, Pac-Man, is the delay for reach? No, I've read that. Josh Cologne, was this about a Penguin spin-off? Josh Cologne, Matt, is all part of Matt Reeves' The Batman universe. So Colin Farrell's The Penguin gets his own show on HBO Max. Very, very exciting. Hishan Kishi, Aquaman might get pushed to summer of 2023. Jesus. Well, listen, my friend, it's very, very interesting. Discovery are coming in. There's a history here. Warner Brothers Pictures thought they were going to get away with this. They were never going to get away with this. They were trying to move away. And as you know me, I was very excited about the multiverse strategy. Yeah, very excited about the multiverse strategy, but I always said it was all about execution. And if this was just some smash and grab to try and rob Snyder and just move away from Snyder, but it was going to be crap, there was no point. Clearly, they haven't thought about this. So things are going to change. Yeah, things are going to change. They clearly have decided against this. I mean, it would be absolute nuts if Emmerich's decided through watching The Batman that everything's got to be a self-contained movie now and they're changing. That would be so reactive and pathetic. But I think that this is definitely a Discovery situation. Things are happening. Pac-Man, the flash delay is also 100%. That's not official though, is it, Pac-Man? I don't think they'll announce any delays for the Flash yet because it's so far away, but this is huge. This is huge. But ultimately, I think this is for the best, definitely. They're going to sack Toby Emmerich. They're going to sack Toby Emmerich. They'll probably sack Ann Sarnoff. And it looks like this looks like curtains for Walter Hamada as well. The legend CJ, DC fans never catch a break. Listen, it is so difficult because I was looking forward to these movies. But ultimately, the legend CJ, I actually think this is doing us a favour. You know, we've just seen one of the best, comic book movies ever made. And we want to see it. We want to keep on getting wins like this. So, Creation K, it's kind of disheartening. Comic book movies have so much potential. They don't have the same flexibility as comics, but they have so much potential. However, this is a problem. Creation K. The problem is that Marvel has monopolized the game by making cookie cutter films of the production line. DC tried to imitate this, employing Whedon of all the people, but the formula didn't work. I've explained this before, Creation K. They brought Whedon to reshoot Zack's movie, but they wanted to release it at the same time they were going to release Zack's movie. They rushed. They had terrible green screen. It was a terrible, cheap film. It was a Superman 4 Quest of Peace for the 21st century. They made that mistake. They tried to cheat. Marvel didn't cheat. They were making films, they were making Iron Man, Captain America, Incredible Hulk, and the fans weren't happy, but they took their time and they got there. And these people at WB at the time wanted to cheat their way through it. Creation K, what DC needs to do is utilize their individuality and creativity, though it's multiple characters. The Batman was a great example of this, and hopefully more will follow. The legend CJ, wait, I'm confused. What's going on? In Discovery behind the scenes, do you have an idea? Well, Discovery emerging with AT&T. Discovery will own and be running Warner Brothers. And so they're coming in April officially. So as a new company, they will be looking at these projects and deciding, look, I report this stuff to you all the time. It's up to you if you listen or not. But if you were paying attention, I told you and reported back to you that David Zaslav moved to Hollywood straight away. He was talking to directors. He was getting advice. He knows what's happened to Warner Brothers Pictures. This is an ambitious man, an ambitious company that wants to be successful. And they know there's a cancer that's been growing over at WB Pictures since 2017, maybe even before. So, they've looked at the situation clearly and they've done what I knew they were going to do. It was obvious. You don't even need to listen. You don't even need to know anything. You don't even need to be an analyst. And all the journalists that are going to talk about this now, they're not going to be honest because they don't want to lose access. But I don't care about that. So I can be honest about this situation. This is Discovery. Discovery are behind this. This was always going to happen. Always. I mean, look, people talk to me, but listen, I've said to you guys before, don't let the viewers and the low subs and the low views to the videos confuse you. I know a lot of stuff, you know, I'm not going to go any further. You know, just because you ain't got 1 million subs doesn't mean you're not connected. I haven't even tried making this channel successful. I don't advertise. I don't have good equipment. I haven't even tried, and I've got 1,000 subscribers at least. So that tells you a little something, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, this is something I expected. It's still a shock when Ronnie told me just a minute ago, because you don't expect it now, because I'm buzzing from Obi-Wan Kenobi. But this had to happen, and this was always going to happen. Hisham Kishi, oh man, DC's going to get the Marvel treatment. Why? What makes you say that, Hisham Kishi? What's your justification for that? Basically, Black Adam, The Flash, and the films we were going to get are pretty much the Marvel treatment. This is different now. Batman, WB heads were using the success of the Batman as their credit. That will not help them to keep their positions. Nope, exactly, Batman. And what's happened tonight has proves that. The Legend CJ, can you please let us know the inside scoop you know? Well, I can only tell you so much. That David Zaslav and Discovery are going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures. They're going to gut it. They're going to sack people. They're going to remove people. He's going to put his own CEO, someone in the line of Bob Iger, to run Warner Discovery. They do not... Look, basically, if you want me to read it out to you, that these films, these DCEU films coming out this year were not to the standard. Zaslav doesn't like the direction, and they're being aborted. And obviously, because Zaslav wants to go back to the old kind of the Warner Brothers of old. They want to make movies, not circus rides, as what's his name, Martin Scorsese says. So, you know, this is what's going to happen now. So I think the future is not a shared universe. Matt Webb is shared universe, but when we're talking about a whole DC extended universe, we're not going to go there. We're going to see movies. And you're going to get really good filmmakers coming in to make these movies. But as far as I'm concerned, and unless something changes or someone tells me something, as far as I'm concerned, I don't expect to see Black Adam or The Flash. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It's interesting. But unfortunately, these people are going. These people are going. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, and the only reason The Flash and Aquaman haven't been delayed is because they're so far off. I think tonight we've seen the death of the DCEU. It's over. It's over. And also, what does this mean for James Gunn, who Walter Hamada went and got? So, wow. This is very interesting now, as I say. Because we have to be honest. Hamada, I think, is a talented individual. I mean, the die was cast. Well, it's over. It's over. The DCEU is dead. It's over. It's finished. That will be the title of tomorrow's DCEU Daily. The DCEU is dead. This film has been delayed for no reason. A fucking cartoon movie has been delayed for no fucking reason. What do you think's happening here? Batman, Green Lantern Corps project is being talked about all over now. And who's talking about that, Batman? Well, I said it on my video today. The Green Lantern universe is like DC's Star Wars. It has so much potential. Now, we don't know what's going on with this HBO Max Green Lantern Corps. Maybe that will be cancelled again. Meta Hooven, I knew it was over. Well, if you know the history and what happened with Snyder, these people, listen, what they did to that man was disgusting while he lost his daughter. Even if you don't like Zack, you don't like his stuff, his daughter took her own life tragically. And they used that They used that reason for him stepping away, and that wasn't the truth. It was disgusting. And I wouldn't mind if Zack Snyder's a bad filmmaker who doesn't know how to make a film, like some people say, but he's not. The man makes beautiful films with great narrative to them, as far as I'm concerned. And he was creating something so unique. This is why Reeves and Snyder are friends, because they're artists, right? John, it is strange that we have not got a new Superman video game yet. Well, that will come once these people get their feet under the table. Give them time. Creation, in a week, I repeat, in a week, we have gone from the DCEU being restored to the DCEU being gutted. Yes, Creation K. Metahooven, I like Zach. So do I. Android 118X, what's going on? I just joined. Why is the DCEU dead? The DCEU is dead because Black Adam has been cancelled, postponed to October. I don't think we'll ever see that movie. I think tonight the Snyderverse has just been restored. And get ready, get ready. Patman, can you explain what their new plan would be? Whew. Looking at it from my point of view and my perspective, there was a very interesting statement from Toby Emmerich, wasn't there, the other day, about films not needing to be shared and having Easter eggs and cameos. And I think that was a very interesting statement and a telling statement. And listen, lots of things could happen. I mean, you could still get a Cavill Superman film, but it not being connected to anything. That's what you could get. I think we're just going to get films, not a connected universe. We're just going to get films. And this is what Warner Brothers is in its history. Superman the movie, Superman 2 were just films that came after each other. They weren't really a franchise. I think DC should produce DCEU films and Warner Brothers should continue to produce smaller films like The Batman and Joker. Well, that's an interesting idea, but I don't think that's what they want to do. I think Radino1. Hello, Mike. Hello, Radine. I'm a bit distracted tonight because we got lots of stuff going on in the DC universe. So is The Flash going to reboot the universe or is that idea dead? I would say right now that idea is dead. Now, I could be wrong because what happens is when you're in my position, you get lots of sources telling you a lot of shit. But no one predicted this. Grace didn't know this. Grace Randolph did. Even Grace Randolph, who has her ear to the ground a lot, she didn't even know this. So, interesting. Very interesting. No one saw this coming. Radino, I can't stay for long because I'm going to school soon, but I saw you were streaming, so I decided to stop by. Thank you, Radino1. Have a lovely day at school. I mean, personally, I couldn't stand school, but that's not me encouraging you not to like school. I just didn't like the thing. But I hope you do well at school, and I hope you have a lovely day. And thank you for being part of this family, because it is a family, isn't it? But yeah, and thank you for your support. That very, very, very appreciative. I'm very sidetracked because Black Adam has been postponed till October. And wow. John, if the DCEU is dead, what do you think will happen with the Batman? Well, the Batman has nothing to do with the DC Extended Universe, John. The Batman is safe. The Batman is the kind of thing that Zaslav and Discovery will want to see. Metahuiven, I tweeted him after Batman v Superman because I didn't understand the ending. Why not? Radino1, yep. I mean, obviously, because I'm on here, I can't look into this as deeply as I want to. But what I would say right now, and I'm going to be up all night looking into this. And even though my heating's not working, I've run out of petrol and they're shut now, so I can't get any more. I'm going to be up all night because obviously, wow, this is huge. This was what I was afraid of all along. And I mean, if you do watch my videos, and I know one or two of you at least watch my videos during the day, you know I've mentioned this. So Basically, you are following the right YouTuber. Don't laugh. You're following the right YouTuber, though. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You must admit, I say a lot of stuff that comes to pass. Just think about it. I'm either fucking fluky, got a good gut, I know what I'm talking about. But you see, my equipment's not quality. I don't push the channel enough, so it isn't going to be elite. But it doesn't matter. We're here. There's a few of us who follow the channel. It's got 1,000 subscribers or so. We're having fun. It's fine. But very interesting. Very interesting. This is huge. This is huge. Android 180XX. I'm excited that the Snyderverse is being restored and sad at the same time that Black Adam is being delayed. Why do you think they delayed Black Adam? I mean, the movie looks like its own movie. I think that it's all to do with Warner Brothers Pictures and what they've been attempting to do, which is move away from Snyder, quickly make these movies and start a new universe within the DCEU. And it's probably not what the new owners want. Creation K, got to head out. Thank you for the time, Mick. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Creation K. I'll see you later. So the breaking news tonight is that Black Adam and the Legends of Super Pets have been delayed. I know that Black Adam has been delayed to the 21st of October, I think. This is something I've been fearing for a very, very long time. As I say, if you watch my videos, you know that I said this was a possibility, and a lot of people said I was wrong. Pac-Man, DC is best when they do standalone stuff. Making every single movie as part of a franchise will compromise the quality. Do you know what, Pac-Man? It can be done by the right people, but Fake's the only one who's been successful at doing it. So that tells you something. And even he hasn't done it perfectly, but it's got the customer, it's got consumer confidence now. That's why he can keep on doing what he's doing. And it is what it is. And ultimately, there's no point doing a shared universe if you don't know what you're doing. And I don't think it's the shared universe element. Maybe it's the rushed element that they're worried about. The Legend CJ, does this mean Cavill will come back? Most likely. Well, Cavill and Warner Brothers Pictures have obviously had a divide, clearly. I think we can see that. And I think Warner Brothers Pictures getting gutted can only be good news for Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill for sure, yes. Radin01, I also got to take off. Have a great night, Mike, and take care. Take care, Radin01. Have a nice day. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Delayed to October. So when was it going to come out? June? That's a 4-month delay. And the thing is, they don't explain anything. So you know it's dodgy. You know what's going on. Because they don't explain anything. They haven't said it's reshoots. I mean, obviously there'll be articles tomorrow for me to read to you guys. And we're really good. One thing I can promise you, we're going to really have a long DCEU daily tomorrow. And we're going to get into this. And I'll do a pre-recorded DCEU daily because I want to focus at the subject at hand. So I make sure I do the best video for you guys so you get all the information because that's very important. Hishan Kishi, they should make a movie called Batman Side A starring Robert Pattinson and Batman Side B starring Ben Affleck. Both storylines are similar, but feature different villains and different Gotham. Interesting. The Legend CJ, I don't think a lot of people like us realize that this is bad for DC. The general audience has no idea of the bigger picture. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think this is bad for DC. I think in the long run, this is good for DC. Said me, I have to go, but okay. Yeah, I think the general audience will just see it as a delay. And to be honest with you, the general audience probably weren't anticipating or excited about Black Adam anyway. That's another problem. I don't know what you're saying, said me. Android 118XX doesn't make sense to delay Super Pets. It's a completely separate movie. It's also a good idea by WB to bring this movie. I remember I loved Super Dog as a kid. It's popular too, but forgotten. Well, this proves the point that it's not about reshoots, because a cartoon isn't going to get its characters and reshoot. This is about that there's a merger coming, and this new company know what's been going on at WB Pictures and what they did to Snyder and what they did to Nolan with Day and Date, and they're going to break them in two, and that's what's going to happen. And a lot of good people, and we talked about propaganda merchants, but there's a lot of good people that have broke this open and have exposed Warner Brothers Pictures. And without those people, we wouldn't be here now. So that's always important to give people the credit. Sedmi, I have to go, but I'm excited for tomorrow's video. See you later, Sedmi, and thank you. We will bring the best video for my subscribers and anyone else who wants to watch. It won't be the best camera work. It won't be the best sound, but I can promise you one thing. It will be factual, and I will give you my opinion. And because that's what it's all about. Sedmi is what I mean. I understand. Awesome. Watch the DCEU Daily tomorrow. We will explain everything. We will get this. We will analyze this. It's just insane. It's insane, my friends. A few more minutes, I think I'll go off air. But wow, it's been intense. And I can't believe this is... It's too dark for me to do a proper video now, you see, to record one, as it will look crap like this. So I want to do tomorrow when the sun's out. I shall get up really early and we'll deal with this, because wow. This has meaning. What's happened tonight has meaning. Android 118XX. So how do you feel? Are you 50-50 on this one? Because the Snyderverse is incoming. If you mean how do I feel within myself? Listen, I was very excited for Black Adam and The Flash and what was happening this year. But I also knew there was a chance that these movies wouldn't be reviewed very well and wouldn't be the response of the public. The excitement wasn't enough, and maybe it's time to lay the DCEU to rest and focus on filmmakers' visions like Todd Phillips in the Joker universe and what's going on here, and make these kind of movies. And I think basically from the inception of the DCEU, it's been problematic. In fact, Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman are the kind of movies the old Warner Brothers would have made. This was a defined vision from a director, and a very interesting vision. But why? What was the problem with Snyder's DC movies? Because they wasn't Marvel. And when you've got people running your company that think along these lines, you've got a problem, because that isn't what Warner Brothers has always been. This has been a studio that's given freedom. Warner Brothers allowed Oliver Stone to make JFK and stand up in a biopic and say that the American government covered up an assassination of an American president. Warner Brothers allowed a director to do that. One of the best films I've ever seen. That's what Warner Brothers used to be. And this is what Zaslav and Discovery will and must make Warner Brothers again. There was nothing wrong with what Snyder did with Man of Steel or BVS. These were visions. These were visionary films. And it doesn't matter if they have plot holes or anything like that. So yeah, it wasn't about the OG Superman in the comics. It wasn't bright. It wasn't inspirational. But it was a vision. And a lot of people like that vision. And there can be another vision. Ronnie Dodge, apparently Shazam is moving up. To where? Metahuven, no, it was too dark for the public. Well, Metahuven, there's a lot of people who like the Snyderverse. But, yeah. But, ultimately, Man of Steel made 650 million. Not a lot of money, but not bad either. BVS made 800 and whatever it did, right? Nearly 900 million. Wonder Woman made 800 million. The Suicide Squad, the first one, made nearly 800 million. Hisham Kishi, what's the deal with Disney and Florida don't say gay bill? I have no idea. It's very political for me. I think it's obviously a homophobic slur, isn't it? Ronnie Dodge, don't when could be this year at the deadline said it's moving up. That's interesting, Ronnie. I'm going to have to look at deadline. Actually, if you all hang around, is this article from Deadline? Let's have a look. Because I can go on Twitter. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. Meta Hooven, I was a fan of Zach's Universe, me too, Meta Hooven, and not Joss Whedon. Well, and no one could be a fan of Joss Whedon after Justice League, can they? Ronnie Dodge, I just tagged you in it. Right. Thank you, Ronnie. Very good of you. Always rely on Ronnie. Let's have a look at this before I go to you, Ronnie. There's another thing about the Penguin here. Come on. Listen to this. HBO Max orders the Penguin Limited series as the Batman clocks 301 million at worldwide box office. Wow, that's amazing. It what comes as no surprise given the running 301 million global grossing success of the Batman. HBO Max has given a straight-to-series order to the Pick spin-off series, The Penguin, which will see Colin Farrell reprising his villainous role from the Pick as one of Gotham's legendary kingpins. As the Batman director Matt Reeves told us on Hero Nation, Penguin picks up where the movie left off in regards to Penguin. Wow! So this Penguin series continues straight after the Batman. In addition, the original Batman spin-off series, the Reeves conceived, centering around a corrupt cop in events preceding the movie that is no longer moving forward at HBO Max. The Penguin, which is working title of the show, is executive produced by Reeves, Dylan Clark, Farrell, and Lauren LaFranc, who writes and serves as showrunner. Sarah Aubrey, head of original content at HBO Max, quote, "We are thrilled to bring audiences a new version of this iconic DC character that they have never seen before. It is incredible to be working with Matt, Dylan, and Lauren on continuing this story and to see Colin take his already exceptional performance in the Batman to the next level." Said Reeves, Colin exploded off the screen as the Penguin in the Batman and having the chance to thoroughly explore the inner life of that character on HBO Max, an absolute thrill. Dylan and I are so excited to work with Lauren in continuing Oz's story as he grabs violently for power in Gotham. LaFranc added, "I have long before been a fan of the world of the Batman, and Matt's film is such a powerful and bold entry into the canon. I'm excited and humbled to continue telling stories in the grimy world of Gotham City, and what better excuse to channel my inner villain than to tell the story of Oswald Cobblepot. I am thrilled to work with Colin, Matt, Dylan, and Six and Idaho Warners and HBO Max as we work to bring this story to the screen. The world Matt Reeves created for the Batman is one that warrants a deeper gaze through the eyes of Oswald Cobblepot," Farrell said. "I couldn't be more excited about continuing this exploration of Oz as he rises through the darkened ranks to become the Penguin. This guy's going to win an Emmy for this. Will be good to get him back on the streets of Gotham for a little madness and a little mayhem." Meta Hooven, Snyder Cut, Ronnie Dodge. I hope these date changes mean Batgirl will be on the big screen rather than HBO Max. I would hope so, and it's something else I have predicted. I was previously announced that LaFranc penned the pilot. The Penguin is based on characters created for DC by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. The limited drama series is produced by Reeves and Six Idaho Productions and Dylan Clark Productions in association with Warner Brothers Television, where Reeves and Six Idaho are under an overall deal. Six and Idaho, blah, 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 blah. We don't need that. Right, let's go to the meat in the sandwich now. Right, let's have a look here. This is it. Pac-Man, Gotham Knights game got a release date today, coming October the 25th. Right. Black Adam moving to October. Dwayne Johnson just announced that Black Adam is going from July 29th to October the 21st, and his animated DC League of Super Pets is going from May the 20th to July 29th. Well, that's interesting. So basically, they're putting the Super Pets in the place of Black Adam. Do you see what they're doing? They're putting something there. It's insane because surely that film can't make the money Black Adam was. It's nuts. But Warner Brothers has more release date shifts upcoming. All of this is amid a number of production delays from Warner Brothers. The studio just returned to a 45-day theatrical window on their event films this year, seeing this past weekend, the Batman now grossing over 301 million. Listen, it ain't about fucking delays, right? This is what The Rock said. Look, these people are so funny. Big exciting news coming out of our movie industry. Our $7 Prod DC Comics movies are shifting dates. Super Pets will be released July the 29th, one hot summer. Black Adam will be released October the 21st, right before Halloween, and playing through Thanksgiving and Christmas. Wanted you guys to hear the news directly from me first. Can't wait for you and your families around the world to see our movies. So that's all we've got. Where's the Shazam stuff then? So let's have a look for the Shazam stuff then. Ronnie Dodge, a rumor. Oh, it's not. So the stuff with Shazam isn't actually factual yet. Ronnie Dodge, a rumor is that they're moving Shazam Fury of the Gods to this year. So it's with Black Adam, which is interesting. Well, maybe they can put. I don't know where they could put Shazam now. This is weird, isn't it? This is weird. I've got to get my head around this. I really have. I need to ring some people up and talk to people privately about this because this is interesting. Because this isn't really professional to start moving dates on the fucking year. It's dumb. There's no excuses. They've made the film successfully. You know, there was no problems with Black Adam. It may have had a few interferences. They don't like you trying to get people to sub on these chats, mate. Who's on Kissy? What about Batgirl? Is it delayed? We have no information on Shazam Fury of the Gods or Batgirl right now. All we know is that Black Adam's been delayed. So, wow. And it's interesting. I want to go back to that headline that you sent me, Ronnie. You see, it says Black Adam moving to October. Shazam Fury of the Gods moving, but it's not in the article. It's not in the article. Yeah, you see, there's nothing about Shazam. There's nothing about Shazam, but they put in their headline that it's moving. So that's weird. So let's put Shazam in. Shazam Fury of the Gods. Not the kids, the gods. Yeah, it must have been removed, yeah. Black Adam moving to October. You see, it's in the header of the headline, Ronnie, before you click onto it. Fury of the Gods moving, but it doesn't finish the sentence. But when you click onto the article, it's not there. You see, it says Shazam Fury of the Gods is moving up according to deadline. Shazam Fury of the Gods sooner in 2023. What? Having Black Adam, I don't get it. Right, so this is a rumor right now. Yo, this is just a fan. What if Shazam Fury of the Gods gets released in Super Pet's OG release date of May the 20th? So that is very interesting. That would soften the blow, wouldn't it? Because you need another DC movie before the back end. And I mean, what it does say is, because they could have announced they're moving Aquaman away from Avatar too, but they're not doing that. So they're putting all their DC movies next to each other. That's nuts. But yeah, you say, yeah, there's nothing else here really. Well, I'm going to have to keep an eye on it. But right now, there is no official news. Very interesting. I mean, listen, it's it's weird. It's weird. It seems to me what's happened here is that they've just, but this is very weird. Why are you moving Shazam? Doesn't make sense. Why are you moving? If this is the case, right? Because you take Shazam away, right, from 2023, you've literally only got Blue Beetle in theatres at this moment. There's been nothing green lit to start shooting to fill up the slate for 2023. So this is very, very odd. This is a very odd situation. But there's more, listen, there's more to this than meets the eye. Definitely. Because, all right, no thanks. Enough's enough. Pac-Man, Shazam moving up may be a good move. The problem is, my friend, you know, they got nothing in 2023 apart from Blue Beetle. None of this makes sense. Literally, none of this makes sense. I'm staggered. They've got, listen, that means, this is how nuts this is, right? Because there's no further announcement. So this is the assumption we've got to make. We've got 3 movies literally back to back of each other in the fall or the autumn, as us British call it. You could potentially have Shazam in May. That's 4. The Batman 5. Batgirl, at this moment, is still coming this year. 6 DC movies in 1 year, but they've got nothing there. This is about a nervous studio knowing they're about to be gutted, and they're trying their best to show how popular and how clever they are. This is bureaucratic fear. Metahooven, WB has some problems, mate. Remember, Prince. Metahooven, look, I've said it on my videos before. I don't understand how these professional studios are so amateur. I know they're only human, but it's ridiculous. The money involved in this industry, and they're Muppets. They're Muppets. Why would you have Black Adam in October, Flash in November, and Aquaman in December? I have never seen a major franchise do that before. Never. It's like you're getting 3 episodes of the Flash TV show back to back or something. It's nuts. And it doesn't make sense. Clearly, they wanted to move Black Adam further forward. So if Shazam, I think Shazam was always going to go in that date, but I don't know why they're doing it now. It's weird. Right, keep your eyes on everything, everyone, because this is developing. This is very exciting. This is more exciting than Obi-Wan Kenobi. which I was in full swing talking about Star Wars, taking a break from our DC chat, and DC came back. Beetlejuice 2, not interested. Meta Hooven, yeah, I know. Trill J, as long as they don't mess up Matt Reeves' world, I'm all good. Well, Trill J, it's totally separate, isn't it? So there's only one person who can mess up Matt Reeves' world, and it's Matt Reeves, and he's not going to do that. It's totally separate. John, has Shazam been moved? Not officially. Not officially. But the Deadline article in its header said it, but then they didn't report on it. So I really need to look into this, actually. So Meta Hooven, who is the Flash returning to CW? It is, yeah. I think it's coming next week. Is it this week or next week? Back soon. And Impulse and his sister have got to save the timeline, apparently. So that's exciting. Android 118XX. I think 2023 may be a break for DC except for Blue Beetle. I think during that year they will plan new projects and look for directors that are suitable for these projects. Yeah, I think, as I say, this could be the last time you see any DCEU, because this is WB Pictures' last throw of the dice to keep their jobs, to keep the studio running under their leadership when this new ownership comes in. And this is a very aggressive thing to do by them if they are bringing Shazam in May. Because what they're trying to do is save themselves. Trill J, Blue Beetle won't be big though, just being honest. Well, we've seen Marvel have small characters before. Nobody thought Guardians of the Galaxy would do much. But so you never know if it's a good enough film. But yeah, it's not, you don't expect it to hit big. I'd be surprised if we even see Blue Beetle next year. But I've been saying that Android at 118XX for quite a while. That next year didn't have much on it because they don't know what the plans from Discovery will be. It's all about Discovery, you see. But this, if Shazam does slot in May, then that tells you a story. Meta Hooven, Kenobi anyone? Meta Hooven, good trailer yet? I watched it live on here with my headphones while you lot were talking away. Great trailer, really enjoyed it. Jewel of Fate's music playing in the background. Awesome. So excited. John, what are they going to announce at DC Fandom this year? Well, not very much. If there is a DC Fandom this year. Villager, this sucks. I really was looking forward to Black Adam. Well, if you believe them, it's coming in October. I mean, it's funny how The Rock says exciting news. It ain't exciting news, mate. And you know it's not exciting news. They think we're stupid. They've taken League of Super Pets to replace the Black Adam. The Black Adam there. Trojo, I'm hearing those Snyderverse rumours. I hope they aren't true about the merger. What are you talking about? What rumours? Villager, I'm hoping that the Flash moves up, but that's unlikely. Well, listen, they've made their statement about what they're moving for now. So I don't think we're going to hear anything else. I think that's it. I mean, because I think they had to announce that because it's a big thing. I still don't know why. We don't know why. But, whew, wow. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented. These are very, very desperate people. And these are people clinging to power and don't know what to do. Trilj, apparently the Snyderverse is supposed to restore with the merger. Well, we've been hearing that for a long time. I expect that to happen, yes. So we don't know anything about Shazam yet. Let's go on Google. Trilogy, it's going to mess up the box office. Well, it doesn't really matter when you release a film, Trilogy. It's how good the film is. Proof of that is the Batman being released in March. Villagers, so this is pretty much confirmation that Aquaman will move to 2023, right? Not necessarily. Trilogy, love Snyder, but he put DC in this mess. Not really, Trilogy. Villager, it's dumb to release a teaser for DC movies saying the world needs heroes and then change the face of those films. Well, this sums up the people who are at Warner Brothers Pictures. These are very desperate people, my friend. John, will they cancel some DC projects? Likely. Android 118XX. I wonder how Discovery feels about the Flash, Black Adam, Aquaman movies, etc. Those are connected movies that Discovery doesn't want and has to accept the release because they are already made. Well, not necessarily Android. David Zaslav can shelve whatever he wants. There's no rules. Hishman Kishi, if the DCEU gets cancelled, just remember all the awesome movies that we've already got except for Justice League. Yep. Trilogy, that's true. Trilogy, exactly. Snyder films aren't good to general public. Yeah, but it's got to be more than that. Because a lot of people like Snyder's films. It can't just be about the general public. But they should have films that service everyone. Ronnie Dodge, Flash has been moved to June 2023. Yeah, you see? Because they've got no content. They've got no content next year. Well, what a mess. Wow. The Flash has been moved to June 2023, Aquaman in March. So we got no Flash and we got no Aquaman. So that means all we got this year now is Black Adam. Shazam being moved to December. This is very strange. I mean, the original film wasn't out in December. Oh, no, it was out in April, wasn't it? Trilogy, imagine Matt Reeves doing a Superman film, though, even though he won't steal a good fault. See, these people are so incompetent. John, I hope we still get a Zatanna movie. Don't hold your breath, John. So this is interesting now, right? This is how bankrupt these people are. They had no plan for next year, right? They had no plan. They had no plan for next year. They had no films, right? So now we've got The Flash and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and Blue Beetle out next year. We've now got the Batman out this year. We've got Shazam out this year, and we've got Black Adam. So it's basically free for free. But where does Batgirl go? We don't even... It looks like Batgirl remains... I don't know. Aquaman in March. It's nuts. They're insane. And all because they had no content for next year. It was something I had my eye on for a long time. And I thought maybe they'll announce some films to make. But they wouldn't have enough time anyway. And again, where is this Superman movie by Ta-Nehisi Coates? Where is it? Hisham Kishi Lowell. Villager, CWB wants consumer confidence, yet does messy things like this. This is not how you consumer confidence at all. Meta Huiven, Flash moved again. Roddy Dodd just sent a tweet to you. Thank you. Hisham Kishi. Oh, at this point, it wouldn't surprise if they said that the Flash has been moved to April the 5th, 2019. Why not? We'll all be dead. Android 118 XX. If only we got it right in the first time when the DCEU first started with Man of Steel. Well, I think if they just allowed the man's vision to play out, we wouldn't be here now. It's an utter mess. And this all points to one thing, my friends, that these movies are the last in the DCEU's existence. This is what's going on here. And the reason there's no new movies being made for next year is because Discovery are coming in and they're making new plans. And what they've tried to do, they've tried to hide things in positivity. There's nothing positive around this. This is a company that didn't plan ahead for next year. And you're waiting to the very year. So Black Adam and Shazam at the end of the year then. Very interesting. We were all looking forward to the Flash movie, but what happens to Batgirl? You can't have a Batgirl movie that's set after the Flash movie. So that film will not be released in December of this year. Trill J, I'm trying to tell you, Snyder still has blame. He effed things up. That's your opinion, Trill J. Calm your language down, please. We're talking about films, not world peace. Meta Hoover, W better search for other owners. They're getting new owners. This is not Discovery's fault. It's the other Muppets running this. Villager, well, if Black Adam has a semi-dark tone, then I can see why they chose October to release it. Well, here's the thing, Villager. They should have fucking announced it for October in the first place, shouldn't they? Oh, dear. I mean, I've stuck up for this studio, but they are a bunch of amateurs. Thank God Discovery are going to come in. They're going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures. It's the best then. If you haven't smashed the like on the video, I think you should. Villager, if Shazam is moving, at least we can be glad about something. Yeah, look, I'm excited about that movie and all, but Trilogy, but to be honest, they'll be fine. Listen to me. All they're doing, the only reason Shazam is in December is because they needed other movies there. And they thought, oh, Black Adam and Shazam. But what's interesting is here, Shazam will be on after Black Adam, which was always the case anyway. But it's interesting, isn't it? But this is basically about a studio that had no plans for next year because they weren't allowed. Basically, they weren't allowed to make movies for the cinema next year. That's the point. Because Discovery told them not to. Trilogy, think about when we're now going to get movies where the characters have their actual traits. Meta Hooven, what's the plan on Discovery stepping in? Well, the plan is that we're going to be called, well, the studio will be called Warner Discovery, and they're a new company, and there's a lot of things that Warner Brothers, Meta Hooven, are not right. And they're going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures, and things are going to change. That's why they didn't make any movies. They didn't green light any movies to film for next year. The only films we had that had already been greenlit anyway, and actually Blue Beetle was supposed to be on HBO Max originally. That's why they put it in movie theatres, because they didn't have any other movies apart from Shazam. So now we've gone Flash, Aquaman, and Blue Beetle in cinemas next year. It's all it is because they had no plans for next year. So also I'm going to say that Tanashi Coach Superman isn't happening anymore because they're not talking about it. Android 118 XX. On the bright side, we'll get that Man of Steel 2 movie, hopefully. Brainiac being the villain. Superman will get the limelight and love he deserves. I hope so. Trill J, wait, why is Flash coming out next year? Well, Trill J, as I've just said, they had no films for next year, apart from Shazam and Blue Beetle. They've moved Shazam 2 over there, and they put the Flash over there as an event movie, because they've had their event movie in March. And they're so stupid. If this was the case, the Batman should have come out in the summer. Why did they release it in March? Villager, sucks that they teased the Flash this early. I was looking forward to seeing Michael Keaton as Batman, wasn't we all? Meta Hooven, okay, Jack Warner would turn in his grave. Trill J, this studio just Trill J, the perfect lineup ruined. Yeah, it was an amazing lineup, but the problem is they had a great lineup this year, but they basically had nothing next year because Discovery wouldn't allow them to make any more films, because this is the thing. They can't announce any more DCEU movies. There's no more DCEU movies being greenlit or announced. Hisham Kishi, Black Adam will get delayed, and we finally get to see. We'll see Vin Diesel as Black Adam, and Dwayne Johnson would be directing. And in Aquaman, we'll see Dwayne replace Momoa as Aquaman. Yeah. Ronnie Dodge, I like the idea of Black Adam and Shazam being close together. Well, listen, Ronnie, if there was actually any planning in those two movies and I felt there was any cohesion and any connection, I would be excited too. And I mean, the only way I'll be excited now is if I hear Superman's in both those movies, because the event and the excitement's gone. There's no Superman movies being planned. We don't. And the problem is we don't know what the fuck they're planning now with this multiverse strategy. And it all seems fucking futile now. If they're not even allowed to announce any more DCEU movies for the time being, then is there a point of the multiverse strategy? We don't know what's going on now. Villager, if what you're saying is true, Mick, they need to release a PR article discussing this. Well, a normal company would. They've just turned the release schedule on its head. And they're not going to say anything. Children could just did the Snyderverse next year, honestly. We just have the Snyderverse this year. Right, that's it. All I'm going to watch is Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman as Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Wonder Woman. Fuck it. I've had enough. Oh my God, these people are fucking tiring, aren't they? So Ronnie sent me a message. Let's see what he's done. Rob Keys. Right, here we go. He's a good source. Right, here we go. So I'm going to screenshot this. No, when I screen... Why do they make screenshots so annoying? Why can't you just press the screenshot button? Right. No, I don't want the volume, you bastard. That's it. Right, guys, I'm just going to type something. I need to put something to my Twitter followers. They're incompetent, they are. Hisham Kishi, they should make a movie where Flash goes back in time to when Jack Warner was still alive so he can make a bright future for DC. Nice one. Matt Hooven, unbelievable. Yeah, right. Villager, everyone in the fandom and every social media app is having a breakdown. Trill J, Matt Reeves is the way, honestly, yeah. Trill J, here's how I would have solved it. DC 1 year, DC Snyderverse 1 year. Good idea. I like that, actually. Trill J, it's a multiverse, right? Well, it was a multiverse, but there's no multiverse now without us seeing the Flash movie for the multiverse to be introduced. So the multiverse has been delayed till next year. Sorry about my silence. Right. DC movie schedule change. DC League of Super Pets that I give no hoots about at all moved from the 20th of May 2022 to the 29th of July of this year. Black Adam moves from the 29th of July to the 10th to the 21st of August. The Flash moves from the 11th from the 4th of November this year to the 6th of what? Of the 23rd of June 2023. What a joke. Aquaman moves from this year to next year. That's the 17th of March. Wow. Shazam Fury of the Gods moves from next year to this year, which is the 16th of December. So listen, it's absolute nuts. The whole thing is fucking insane, honestly. And ultimately, right, And I wish I had better equipment so I could make a pre-recorded video tonight. But it's just not going to be good quality. And I want it to be good quality because, wow. It's just insane. So, everyone, basically, we've had the Batman. We're getting Black Adam in October. And then I think we're getting Shazam in December. That's 3 DCEU movies this year. That's quite well organised, right? Then, next year, we are getting The Flash, Aquaman, and Blue Beetle. Let me just check that out again. Let me just check this out again for next year. Right. So, yeah, they don't list Blue Beetle here, but it's next year. So, yeah. So, next year is The Flash, Aquaman, and Blue Beetle. Now, let me just explain something to you. Hisham Kushi, the song by Nirvana, Something By The Way, was intentionally included in the Batman as a message for Warner Bros. And Discovery to back off. Matt Reeves knew what was going on. Trill J, turn on the bat signal. Batman got to save DC again. Trill J, facts. Villager, lol. Right. So something you all need to understand about, and we're not talking about this, but we should be, and I mentioned it once already, but I'll remind you of this, that narratively, Batgirl can't be shown before the Flash movie. Batgirl is literally set after Flashpoint. That's why Michael Keaton's Batman's in there. That's why Robin's in there. So you will not see Batgirl, which hasn't even got a date, by the way. I know Michael Uslan said something on a messaging board, but that doesn't count. There is no official date yet for Batgirl. So you can't see Batgirl. So when is the Flash out? Next year, June. Next June, right? So you probably can't see Batgirl to next December. John, wasn't Batgirl going to be set right after the Flash movie? Exactly, yeah. So it can't be shown. It can't be shown yet. This is an utter clusterfuck. They knew that Discovery were not going to allow them to make movies for next year. And they had all these movies this year. So instead, right, listen, think about this. There'll be no disappointment. They could have actually done the scheduling for this all along. As soon as Discovery said to them, we don't want you making any films for next year, right? They could have said, right, we've got the Batman, we've got Black Adam, we've got the Flash, and we've got Aquaman, right? And we've got Batgirl. I know. We got all these films, right? Let's not schedule them all for 2022, as we got nothing for 2023. They could have done this last year. They could have announced this at Fandom last year, and we would have all been fine, no problems. But no, they waited till this year to fill the space because they weren't allowed to make any movies. Not only is this the end of the DCEU, because they're not allowed to make any DCEU films. That's clear, right? Right? JT500, my boy Putin just announced that he has captured that dog Zelensky. Has he? No way. Trill J, put Flash and Black Adam this year. Hardit Singh. Hello, Mike. Hello, Hardit. You're missing all the action. No point Flash talking, mate. There's no Flash for next year. The Flash is flashed off to 2023. Oh. Wow. I mean, guys, I think I may have to come off of here because I've been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I may come back later and we'll discuss this some more. I probably will because there's no sleep for me now, is there? Trill J, they forgot getting you still have to complete this year. I think DC scheduled their moves. It's the new release dates. Right. I'll tell you. I'm going to come back later, Harddeep, but I'll tell you anyway. What's this from your secret friend? Right. DC movie schedule change. DC League of Super Pets moves from the 5th of the 20th, 2022 to the 7th, 29th, 2022. Black Adam moves from 29th of July of this year to the 21st of October this year. The Flash moves from this year to next year, the 23rd of June. Aquaman moves from December to March the 17th. And Shazam! Fury of the Gods will not be shown next year. It will be shown this year. My least anticipated movie has been moved forward. Wow. It's not just Black Adam delayed. The Flash and Aquaman are pushed back to 2023. Shazam 2 is moving up this holiday, though. Oh, yippee. It, honestly, right, I don't, this makes sense, but they should have done this last year because they knew Discovery didn't want them to make any more movies. Villager, speaking of these scoopers, why didn't they warn us about the schedule change? Seems like they don't actually know shit. No, Villager, they don't know nothing. By the way, I only hide your messages if YouTube don't like them. It just keeps my record good, basically. So that's why I do it. It's not to be offensive, and I'll read them as much as I can. But Villager makes a great point there. Yeah, these scoopers come up with all this bullshit like Grace Randolph and My Time to Shine about no Superman in the Flash, right? And then nobody knew about this. But to be honest, I kind of was thinking about this. I did mention about films being delayed and cancelled and things like that. And no one believed me because I don't think anyone believed that any company would wait this long to make any moves. So what can we gauge, before I go, what can we gauge from this? Movies are being delayed because no movies were greenlit for next year. That doesn't look good for the future of the DCEU, right? It looks like this company is making changes in terms of DC. So you can expect big announcements eventually. Also, it doesn't look good for the movies that are scheduled for next year, but I'm sure they'll be shown. The problem is they'll be shown, but I think these films are going to be failures now. I do. I think these films will be failures. They'll peter out, and it'll be the end. It's the end of the DCEU. I don't think that any more, right, movies will be scheduled after Blue Beetle. This is basically, everyone, this is the end of the road for Warner Brothers Pictures. Toby Emmerich, I know it's a close vote there. Will Discovery sack him? They will sack him. They're going to sack all of them at Warner Brothers Pictures. This is not a good sign for the DC Extended Universe. The DC Extended Universe is dead after Blue Beetle. It's finished. It's all right, pal. I'm not even going to respond to you. Bye-bye. See you later. Villager, I have hard time. These grown men with supposed years of experience work at WB because of their credentials. I'm convinced they're just there because of nepotism. That's why they're there. It's DNA, my friend. They don't deserve to be there any more than we do. We know more than them, right? That's the sad thing, right? Children, we shout on here to... Bro, sorry. It's... Trill J, don't worry about it. It's just a troll. It's just an idiotic troll. I mean, look at the picture. Come on. But what if those movies by WB and huge success, especially the Flash movie, what will Discovery do then? Honestly, my friend, I just don't see it now. I just don't see it. I just don't see these movies being successful. I've changed my mind. I mean... just when these movies are scheduled for. I mean, look, June for The Flash, that's much better than November. That's a summer day. That's huge. The problem is, as excited as I've always been for the Flash movie, Aquaman and Black Adam, which I've always been excited, I've been consistent about that. The mainstream audience have no faith in this franchise because it's let them down again and again and again. All people care about is the MCU. And moving them like this makes the situation worse because they've got nothing. They have no films for next year. This is why this schedule change has happened. John, at least we have still got Matt Reeves' universe. Trilogy. People aren't going to like the moves, so the money is now messed up. Listen, it's like looking forward to getting a balloon and you see it across the room and you wait for it, and by the time you get it, it deflates. The air's gone. It's not exciting. You don't want the balloon now. It isn't what you thought it was going to be. And you had to wait for it for so long. That's my analogy anyway. Trilogy, the Flash movie could have made at least 1.5 billion. I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought the November date was weird anyway. Why didn't they release it in the summer? Weird. And why was Black Adam in the summer? Why is a Black Adam movie isn't more weird? It's all strange. Trilogy, a Man of Steel sequel could make 1 billion. Well, I think it will now because of the anticipation for a Man of Steel sequel. But what we can read from this is that Discovery are coming. They said no, they're not letting them make any more DCEU films. That's why they had to fill out next year with the films that they've got. I just wish they made these announcements in 2021. They have plenty of time to change the schedules because it doesn't matter if a film's finished or not. That's irrelevant. They had the schedules. They could have changed them. So it's interesting. What changed? What changed now? Why did they make the moves now? Why didn't they make the moves sooner? That's the thing. Because they've got unhappy consumers now. And if these changes were made last year, and if they were announced at Fandom, they could have controlled the reaction. And it would have been fine. It still would have been bad, because we thought we were getting things in 2022. And I'm just wondering now. I mean, Matt Reeves is fine. Matt Reeves will carry on. They haven't greenlit the sequel, by the way. Have you noticed that, though? But basically, in a way, the Penguin series is kind of a sequel, isn't it? Because it continues straight after. Trilogy, but hey, I don't know anything. Well, who knows? Maybe you do. Villager, MCU is too big. WB are moving movies because of the box office and Marvel movies. That's not why they're moving them, Villager. They had no movies for next year apart from Shazam and Blue Beetle. They needed to equal out what they had over there. So they've got 3 movies over there now, right? And they've got 3 movies over here. They've had the Batman. They're going to have Black Adam and Shazam. That's 3 movies. Over there, you've got Blue Beetle, The Flash, and Aquaman. So that's even. Now, what happens to Batgirl now, I don't know, because the Batgirl movie hasn't got a date. It can't be shown before the Flash movie. And that's something that they're not even talking about. I can only see that film being moved to December of next year. But I mean, we were at a stage earlier where we were going to get Aquaman, The Flash, and Black Adam back to back, which was nuts. It's because they released the information slowly. I mean, it makes no difference. I mean, really. I mean, Shazam's only moved up a little bit. But, so the breaking news tonight, everyone, is that DC and WB have changed their release schedules. Instead of having Black Adam in June, The Flash in November, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in November. In December. Let me get it right. They have moved, let's start. They have moved Shazam over to 2022. They have moved Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and Flash over to 2023. 3 movies here, 3 movies next year. Because basically, Discovery wouldn't allow them to make it. They didn't have any movies to release next year, apart from Shazam next year and Blue Beetle. So they've equaled it out. 3 movies in 2022, 3 movies in 2023. So what does this mean for the future of the DCEU? Well, I don't think you're going to hear of any other DCEU movies being greenlit. We've heard nothing about J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark. Have you noticed that? These are all green lights from Emmerich at Warner Brothers Pictures. This is why. Nothing's going to be greenlit. You're not going to hear anything about a Batman sequel just yet. Any plans they've made are put on hold now until Zaslav comes in and weighs up the situation. This is why I said this merger comes at a weird time and things are going to change very quickly. Now, the only thing we won't hear yet until they officially take over is the future of Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. I think that's going to be restored. What the future of this franchise is, I don't know. But this franchise has been hobbling on since Justice League, when they should have just axed the whole thing and started again. They didn't do that, but I think we are going to see the end of the old DCEU. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think they're going to allow Zack to finish off. It may even be a case that Zack Snyder returns full-time. Who knows? Ronnie Dodge, I'm really annoyed, but it is what it is. Well, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We're only the consumer. We're only the kingmakers. They don't care about us because they know we're stupid enough to stick with them. Trilogy, all they have to do at Villager is make a Superman sequel and expand Matt Reeves' world, and the MCU is no competition. Great point. Trilogy, and that's from the heart. How you have a DCEU without Superman. I couldn't agree more. And I've said this, I've done videos, I repeat myself about this. It's ridiculous. Do you know they literally blamed the failure of Justice League on Superman? That's why they shelved Superman after Justice League. That's why we haven't seen him since. Ronnie Dodge, I'm really annoyed. Yes, so we've read that. Yes, Ronnie, the feeling's mutual, my friend. It's a hammer blow. But it shows you, as I warned you, that this is all about Discovery. And because there were no movies made to put out next year. And this was the problem. Because I'll tell you what the issue is for next year. You can't have a slate with Blue Beetle and Shazam next year. There's no interest in that. That's why Shazam and Black Adam have been put next to each other, because they're not so worried about hype this year, because the Batman is going to probably make them $1 billion, hopefully, in the next 3 weeks. So it ain't a big deal. Right, everyone who puts this up, trilogy. They could have just completed a Superman trilogy by now, honestly. Look, the franchise has been a mess from the beginning. But actually, it hasn't. It hasn't been a mess from the beginning. They just should have let the guy... Look, they brought the guy on, right? They brought him on. Let him finish it. So, yes, as I've been saying for a few weeks now, this is the consequences of Discovery coming. They had no plans for next year. There's a reason for that, because they were told not to have any plans for next year. Last year, they announced a Superman of colour. Nothing. Last year, they announced another Superman of colour, produced by Michael B. Jordan, Val Zod. Nothing. John, they have already gave the Batman a Blu-ray release date. Wow, what date is it, John? What date is it, John? I mean, it's probably just for the United States, but it's interesting. Tell me that date and I'll go. Wow. Trilogy, because the Batman is a global hit, it is. And really, it's their first global hit, really, probably since Joker. Well, it's been a very eventful live video anyway. It's been fun. Wow. Any news on that release date, John? Bloody hell, it's 11 o'clock at night. Shit. June the 13th. That can't be right. Well, they're rushing that out, aren't they? June the 13th. So that's April, May, June. I have to say, I don't know what you're saying. Trilogy. Oh, however you say it, lol. Right. This has been Movies TV Mad. I am Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss this perfection. I may be back later. Most probably you'll see me tomorrow. And we will do a proper DCEU daily. And we'll really get into this video because this is the biggest DCEU news we've had in a very long time. And there's a meaning to it. Things are going on here. Things are changing. It's very, very sad. We were going to get another 3 movies this year. We're still getting another 2. You know, we're going to see Shazam earlier. But it's all very, very disappointing. And I don't expect any more DCEU movies to be greenlit for the future. And I think you're going to see that as we go on. We'll see what happens with Discovery Takeover. And I will talk to you soon. Until then, goodbye, au revoir. Alfie the same. What a live. See you again tomorrow.